Welcome to EcoFreaks. This is a show where we go in search of American green dreamers, the people, towns, cities, and businesses that are doing their best to go green. Some ideas are practical, some are extreme. But whatever their methods, everyone we'll talk to shares the same common goal of making this country a little greener than the way they found it. Hey, I'm Todd Crain, and we're here in New Paltz, New York, home of rock climbing, mountain biking, hiking in the the Gunks. It's a mountain range, I don't know. And also home of the very first zero net energy community in the Northeast. Let's go check it out. This way. Here we are in front of a beautiful house to meet a zero energy builder, Anthony Abbey, and a zero energy homeowner, David Shepler. David?
Hello.
And Anthony. Hi, how are you?
Good.
So exactly what does it mean to be zero energy?
Zero energy means that this house is constructed so that basically at the end of the year, this house will have produced at least as much energy as it needed.
And what was your spark to buy a house that was zero energy?
Well, I've been looking for a while for homes. My wife and I checked out, oh gosh, probably felt like about 100 homes. And some of them had energy efficient features here and there, but at the end of the day, none of them had a whole package that was really compelling to me. I wanted to try to do something a little bit different, and I discovered Anthony, and we were on our way.
Sweet. All right, well, let's go take a look at your baby up there. Yeah? Ready? Come on, let's go. Before we actually go inside, what's that?
Those are the ICF forms that the house is made out of. These are basically styrofoam forms. There's 2.5 inches of styrofoam, inside and outside. And then these little things are spacers to hold it from spreading apart when you pour the concrete.
Exactly how thick are the walls? If you've got 2.5 inches here and 2.5 inches here and then 6 inches in the middle, you've got siding on one side, right, and then you put sheetrock on the other, so yeah, your walls are incredibly thick.
Yeah, you end up with a nice 12-inch wall.
That's incredible. It's incredible. All right, let's go inside.
All right.
So, David, thank you so much for showing us your house. Give us an idea of what in this area right here exactly is environmental.
Yeah, I guess I'd say all the paint in the house is zero VOC. It means volatile organic compound.
So there's none of that within the paint itself.
That's right. So, because if you have sort of traditional paints, there's some off-gassing from that is considered to be relatively toxic. To some extent, I guess we were worried about the materials we were using. Mm-hmm. We ensured that the cabinets were all wood, no MDF used.
Which stands for what?
You know, I have no idea.
So let's talk about the appliances for a second. Is there something different about these appliances that would be found in a traditional home?
Yeah, I mean, anyone can buy these now. The Energy Star rated appliances are very commonplace, and a lot of people are buying them now. But we just went as far as we could within reason, within certain financial limits in terms of buying Energy Star high performance appliances.
Tell us specifically about the windows themselves. Let's take a look and see what makes them so special.
Sure. So there's really 3 features of these windows. Mm-hmm. They're triple paned. Okay. So there are 3 sections of glass.
Okay.
And then they're argon filled, an inert gas that has better thermal properties than just normal air. There's also condensation aspects of that.
Okay.
And then probably one of the more important elements is on the outside they're coated with this low E or low emissivity coating that allows that IR energy to reflect off the glass, particularly at a high angle of incidence. Okay. So when the sunlight is penetrating directly, then that IR energy does penetrate the house, and that's what we want, because in the winter when the sun is low, we want that.
Got it. Okay, so all of the green elements that are put together to make this house are all well and good, but what exactly makes this house work?
Well, let me tell you, everything really comes together in one place. There's a mechanical room in the basement. I'd love to go show you that.
Awesome. So we're down in the guts of the house, and this room is filled with things I know nothing about. Yeah. So what exactly is this little contraption?
Okay, well, this is the first of what I think are 4 main elements that allow us to achieve zero energy. The first is solar power, and I'll explain what that is in a second. Just to give you the other 3, the second one is the geothermal heat pump for the heating and cooling of the house. The third is all the super insulation that's achieved the way that the house is structured, and it's a tight, super insulated home. And the fourth is the heat recovery ventilation system.
Okay.
But the first, these are the inverters that turn the direct current, DC power coming off the 10 kilowatts of solar panels. There's about 45 panels on the south side of our roof. Turns the DC power into AC to be consumed by the house and be pushed out to the grid for others to consume.
All right, what else we got in here? What's this thing?
So
what's that?
Oh, that's just my. That's just the.
Where you keep your knives?
Yeah, all the data in the house. Right? Nothing energy-wise. This is just where all the modem and all the guts of the communications, phone and internet and all that. So
got it.
Yeah, it's
none of that interests me at all. No. Moving on.
Yeah, so this is just the manifold for the plumbing in the house. What's interesting about our house, and is being increasingly done in new construction and homes around the country, is now we're having devoted lines that go to each faucet in the home. Instead of connecting the faucets and the various points of consumption for water throughout the house, instead of connecting them in a serial way, we're connecting them directly. And what this allows us to do is to save a lot of energy, because you don't have to heat up all of that water that's going through in some serial fashion all throughout the house. You're only heating up what goes from this point directly to that faucet. I really tried to get rid of that before last night.
Do you keep your cats in this room?
This is the cat room. Well, they get this whole kind of bottom area.
How glamorous for the cats.
I just want to say one more thing about all these systems here. All of this stuff obviously exists. These are things being sold on the open market. There's nothing like completely cutting edge about this. I didn't have to go invent a bunch of things to try to achieve zero energy. These technologies exist. People can buy them and put them in their houses. And I think that's a really important point.
So I'm here with Adam from the Central Hudson Gas and Electric Company up here in New Paltz. Hi, Adam.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, good.
Good. Now this, tell me what's strange about this situation here. You're here to read the meter,
right? Well, here you can see on the dial with the solar panel, it's actually affecting the meter negatively. The meter is spinning reverse.
And it should be going the other way.
Right.
It should be spinning the other way.
It should be, right. If we were supplying the electricity to the home, the meter would be spinning the opposite way.
I got to point out one thing, Todd, since we're talking about energy. I mean,
Yeah.
the sun just came out. It's been kind of a cloudy morning.
Right.
So right now, your whole crew here is operating zero energy, basically. You're operating off my solar panels upstairs.
We're plugged into your outlets.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
But hurry up and get it off, because I want to achieve zero energy.
You're selfish. So here we are on this beautiful deck on this beautiful day, and what's up there?
Well, that's where we have all our solar panels. There's about 45 of them.
And how did you get them up there?
Well,
That's a funny story.
Yeah?
yeah, that is a funny story, because, you know, I'd always thought, gosh, we're talking about these really high-tech solar panels. This is going to be the coolest kind of gee-whiz thing on the whole house. When the solar installers come out here, they're going to have to come with these really sophisticated booms and systems to hoist them up there and delicately place them.
Right.
Well, that wasn't the case at all.
No.
In fact, this is how they got them up there.
And David
Threw them on their back and one at a time lugged them up a ladder.
Well, I think it would be interesting for everybody to actually see the solar panels. So, Jamie, our cameraman, I'm going to send him up that rickety ladder. How do you feel about that, Jamie? Well, that's it from New Paltz. Now let's go to Michael DeYoung, our Zen cleaning expert, for some green cleaning tips for your kitchen.
Hi, my name is Michael DeYoung, and I'm sometimes called the Zen Cleanser. I'm the author of Clean, the Humble Art of Zen Cleansing. What makes for great coffee is a clean coffee pot. What makes for bad coffee is a coffee pot that's cleaned with soap. I'm going to show you how to clean your coffee pot with white vinegar instead. First, what I'll want to do is open the back of the machine and remove yesterday's grounds. And what I'll do is pour an entire bottle of vinegar into the back of the machine. It usually takes almost the entire bottle to fill this sucker up. At that point, I close the top and I turn the machine on. And what occurs is the vinegar will slowly attack all of the mineral deposits in the back of your coffee pot. It will also go through the filter mechanics of your machine as well, and it will take all of the acidity and any of the alkalized soap deposits from your machine. Nothing ever goes to waste when you're using good stuff and natural things. What I'm going to use the leftover vinegar from cleaning our coffee pot with is, I'm actually going to unclog a kitchen sink. I begin by pouring baking soda down the drain. Just fill it, fill it, fill it, fill it, fill it. And it's gonna build up like that. And just set it, it'll slowly work its way down the drain a touch. And then follow it with just pouring this vinegar down the drain. You're gonna have the cleanest drains on the block. The next thing to do is to just run some standard tap water through the back of your machine. It's simple as just lifting the back and filling your carafe with cool water and running it through. This will remove any of the remaining vinegar from your machine. And now we're going back to Todd.
Hey, thanks, Michael. Does anybody know what a freegan is? Yeah, me neither. But here I am on 3rd Avenue in the heart of Manhattan, and I've been told that my midnight snack will be coming from a very interesting place. It's coming from where?
Welcome, everybody. Tonight we have a trash tour, and hopefully the rain will not spill down on us.
So, Janet, what's the basic definition of a freegan?
A freegan has basically stepped away from this overproducing and over-consuming society. Freeganism is not dumpster diving, and there are people who dumpster dive who are not freegans, and there are people who are freegans who don't dumpster dive. So it's it's what we're famous for, because it is that hook, it's that interesting taboo that gets all of you media people interested.
Here
in us.
we are, asking all sorts of questions.
We're going to go to about 5 supermarkets and other commercial stores and open their garbage. We're going to look for things that they're throwing out that are in perfectly good condition, and we're going to take them. It's pretty perfect.
Yeah, look how nice that is. Have you ever had to fight a rat for food? That's a perfectly good pair.
Freegans say that we can find another way, an alternative lifestyle that rejects an economy that is basically looking at the bottom line and ignoring what really matters. If we're always talking about hungry people in the world, then why can't we feed them? We know we can feed them.
Why would a store get rid of tin foil? Because it's open? Really? That's the most bizarre thing.
Anybody want hot dogs? Are you really refried beans? Yes.
So you would cut that off, and that's okay then, right? Where are the bagels from? Like,
It's from that store.
From this fresh bakery.
so they bake them in there. They don't use them at the end of the day, and they just put them in the garbage can. They're still kind of warm. Like,
yeah, I mean, and this is where it gets absurd when people are talking about, oh, you're eating trash. Well, if you had bought it a few hours ago, they would have put it in a bag.
right.
And now it's in a
Right.
different colored bag, and it's trash and it's disgusting. But you can see, like, it's just bagels in there.
It's just bagels.
It's just bagels.
If you go into a bakery in France at, say, 7 o'clock, you won't see anything on their shelves. Their aim when they bake is to bake only enough for what people want to buy and use that day.
Well, black and white. That is a typical New York cookie right there. All right, I'm gonna do it. It's really not bad. It's actually very good. It's still fresh. There's nothing stale about it.
I think that when people first come out to do this, you know, sometimes people come out of curiosity, or it's sort of a novelty, one of the strangest things you can do in New York City. But I think as people start to look and say, this isn't random, this isn't just happening one time at one store, I think they start to see it's part of a systematic problem. And you want to look around and say, am I crazy to be seeing this? Am I crazy? And then you look around at the other people and you say, no, these other people see it too.
It is like a little Halloween. Like each one of these bags is a little house.
It's the easiest thing to give away to hungry people.
That's true. Because you don't have to worry about the
Sometimes
inside.
I find myself taking like 20 or 30 bananas, literally, and just giving them out on my way home.
Did your mother ever tell you that even though it's got a little bruise on it, it's
still
good?
okay. Yes, that's what she said.
Heavens to Betsy.
Leading up to tonight, I thought, they're crazy.
Yeah.
They're crazy. This is insane behavior because we have been trained and taught that what's in the trash is dirty.
I understand that that's repulsive to people, but what we have found, unfortunately, as you have seen tonight, that there's so much good food in the garbage.
It's still stinky, I'll be honest with you. That's the stuff that I'd be afraid of. Have you ever gotten sick from doing this?
I get sick all the time. I get sick at heart when I see what our society is doing.
Okay, good.
When I know that 40% or more of the food that's grown in America is wasted, that makes me sick at heart. It makes me sick at heart.
I just want to give you a hug. Thank you so much for doing this.
I really appreciate it.
Sure.
And I admire your passion and your conviction and your determination to make a difference. Thanks for the tour.
Sure.
I'm going to go wash my hands now. That's it for this week. Join me next week when I'll be using a power riser, which apparently attaches to my legs and makes me faster than a guy on rollerblades. We'll also meet a man who's learned to save on toilet paper. Unplug your chargers, turn off your lights, and have a great night. I'm Todd Crain. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on EcoFreaks. Interesting side note, as we were on our way back to put our crew equipment back in the van, a homeless man approached me and asked me for $1 for a cup of coffee. I had a bag of bagels and cookies, and I gave it to him, because that's what the Freegans would do.